I spent a year and a half creating a powerful cybersecurity system that could stop attacks before they even happened. I thought Titan Tech was the perfect company to support it. They had money, great tools, and big dreams, but I didn't know the CEO, Brandon Holt, had a different plan. Wait until I finished my project, then steal it. My name is Maya Lin. Until yesterday, I was the lead AI developer at Titan Tech. I had left a secure, well-paying job at Microsoft to join this exciting startup because I believed my idea could change the world of cybersecurity. I called it Sentinel Shield, inspired by mythical protectors. It could learn to spot threats before they fully formed and stop them on its own. For 18 months, I worked non-stop, sometimes 80 hours a week, building it. Brandon would occasionally visit, smile, and say, "Great work, Maya. The board loves what you're doing." But something about him always felt off. 3 days ago, I hit a big milestone. Sentinel Shield stopped a very advanced cyberattack simulation all on its own. It even found problems I hadn't taught it to look for. It was learning, getting smarter. Excited, I set up a meeting with Brandon. His assistant squeezed me into a short 15-minute slot, but when I walked into his office, it wasn't just Brandon, it was also the company's lawyer, Andrea. "Sit down, Maya," Brandon said, handing me a document. "Andre is just here for some paperwork." My stomach turned. I sat down, holding my laptop, ready to show my demo. "Before we talk about your system," he said, "we need to go over your contract." Andrea spoke up. "Your agreement says anything you make while working here belongs to Titan Tech." I nodded, "But I came up with Sentinel Shield before I even started here. I have proof." She didn't care. "You may have had the idea, but you built the full version using Titan Tech's time and tools." Brandon leaned in. "Let's be honest, it's ours now, and we think we're paying you well." I was confused. "Paying me?" He smiled. "Your contract says you get a $300,000 bonus when it launches. That's more than most people get." I felt like I had been punched. They wanted to pay me a small bonus for something worth billions. Then he said they were showing Sentinel Shield to investors the next day and expected to get $75 million more in funding. "You're firing me," I said quietly. Andrea nodded. "You're being let go. Starting now, you'll still get your bonus. Congrats." Brandon smirked. "You're done here." But they didn't know I had seen this coming. I couldn't sue them. My contract said Sentinel Shield belonged to the company, but I was ready. 6 months ago, I noticed Brandon had tried to sneak into my private server at night. I set up alerts and started adding secret safety features, not just to protect the system from hackers, but from people like him. I kept my face calm, gave them my laptop, and said, "Good luck tomorrow, Mr. Holt." Security walked me out as I packed my things. I left holding a box, like many people do when they're fired, but unlike most, I wasn't really empty-handed. I had built something into the demo, code that would trigger 10 minutes into the presentation. That night, I didn't freak out. I ordered food, watched some TV, and waited. At 9:30 p.m., my phone rang. It was Rachel, Brandon's assistant. "He wants to see you," she said. "It's urgent. A car is already coming." 40 minutes later, I was back at Titan Tech. Brandon was alone in the meeting room, looking stressed and disheveled. "Fix it," he snapped. I sat down slowly. "Fix what?" He glared. "Don't play dumb. You messed up the demo." I raised an eyebrow. "How could I? I haven't touched anything since I left." Security watched me leave. He slammed the table. "The system broke down. It flagged tons of fake threats. It's useless." I tilted my head and said with a small smile, "Sounds like a tech problem. Have you tried turning it off and on again?" Brandon's face turned red with anger. "This isn't a joke. We have 12 big investors coming tomorrow. $75 million are on the line." "Your investors," I replied. "Your system." He took a deep breath, trying to look calm again. Then he smiled, that smooth, convincing smile that had fooled me. "Maybe we were too harsh yesterday. I'm willing to make it fairer. We can give you co-creator credit, more money, even some shares." I leaned back. "What exactly went wrong in the test?" He hesitated, then said, "The system started attacking Titan Tech's own network. It flagged our servers as threats and made hundreds of reports calling us unethical." I couldn't help smiling. Sentinel Shield is supposed to flag all threats, inside or outside. He glared. "What did you do?" "I didn't break it," I said. "It's working exactly as I designed. During development, I trained it on examples of attacks from inside companies." Brandon paled. You had it spy on us. I taught it to find threats wherever they come from. He looked scared. You can't prove that. I stayed calm. I don't have to. Sentinel Shield has been logging every shady move for months. Who accessed what? When files were copied or changed. Even keystrokes. It's all in those reports. A heavy silence fell. Brandon's anger turned to calculation. Finally he whispered, "What do you want?" I folded my hands. Half the patents and profits, a seat on the board, and $10 million for your pulling this stunt. He snapped, "That's extortion." "No," I said quietly, "that's business. Extortion would be me sending those reports to the investors or the SEC. He glared, then slumped, "Can you fix it before tomorrow?" Sentinel Shield doesn't need fixing, I said, it just needs the right permissions. Right now it sees itself as under attack because its creator, me, was removed. I pulled a flash drive out of my pocket and laid it on the table. This updates the permissions. Consider it a gesture of good faith. We can sign contracts tomorrow. He looked at the drive, then at me, "And if I refuse?" "Your demo fails, and those reports go public," I said. He sighed and took the drive. "You planned this all along." I shook my head. I hoped it wouldn't come to this, but after you sneaked into my server 6 months ago, I built in protections, for Sentinel Shield and for me. His eyes narrowed. "How did you know I'd try to push you out?" "I didn't," I admitted, "but Sentinel Shield learns patterns and predicts threats. I guess that rubbed off on its creator." The next morning I walked back into Titan Tech, not as an employee, but as co-founder and CTO. Brandon introduced me to the investors with that same half-smile. The demo went perfectly. Sentinel Shield stopped every simulated attack flawlessly. One investor asked, "What inspired this system?" Brandon hesitated, then had to admit, "It was Maya's idea. We just gave her the resources." I jumped in to answer their tech questions, and my phone buzzed. Permissions updated, threats neutralized, system secure. The AI had fixed itself again, just as it was designed. 3 months later, Sentinel Shield stopped a huge cyber attack on an international bank. What could have cost $340 million in losses was prevented, and Sentinel Shield became the new gold standard in cybersecurity. Brandon and I now work together professionally. He handles business, I handle the tech. We're not friends, but we found a balance that works. Sometimes I think, should I have sued, taken him to court? But I built a system too strong to steal and made sure I could never be erased from my own creation. His betrayal taught me something vital. Technology is only as ethical as its guardian. Now every Sentinel Shield deployment includes strong ethical rules and transparency so it can't be misused. It not only protects networks, it protects itself and its users. Last week, at our public offering valuing the company at $4.2 billion, a young developer asked, "What's your secret?" I told her, "It's not just code, it's knowing that threats can come from within. The challenge is not only creating technology, it's making sure it can adapt, defend itself, and stay true to its principles." That's my story. After being betrayed, underestimated, and almost erased, I came out stronger and in control of my future. But I didn't do it alone. I had my skills, my instincts, and most of all, the determination to stand up for what was mine. Now I want to hear from you. What would you have done in my place? Sued the company? Started over somewhere else? Do you think I made the right choice by turning the tables on Brandon and securing my spot at Titan Tech? Leave a comment and share your thoughts, advice, or your own experiences with workplace betrayals. Remember, you are the first line of defense for your ideas and boundaries. Don't assume everyone will play fair, prepare for the worst, and position yourself for the best. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please like, comment, and subscribe for more great stories. Don't forget to tap the notification bell, so you never miss an update. Share your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from you. See you next time, and take care.